Well, I'm doing things out of order, but I kind of forgot to do an intro. So as you can see, we're moving tractors back and forth. We're all orange inside now. So welcome to Tractor Roy. My name's Trent. This is what we're doing. So we'll go back to the future so you can see how we got to this point. What if we now tied the drawbars together like we did at the end, and then I'll push you in, so this thing will go in straight and I'll just back up. Does that work? Might be easy enough.
Push it in forward?
Yeah, push it in forward, so I'll back in, you'll go forward, so you'll steer like normal. Maybe. Yeah. Ah. Okay, ready? Yeah. I mean, I can pull it in, maybe. Yeah, I don't have any traction going in reverse. So when it's dry, it works really well tying those drawbars together and just like, you can either pull it that way or push it. Well, it's so snowy and slippery that I don't have any traction in reverse. So we're going to throw it on the C and see what that old girl can do. As long as we can kind of get the chain up to, well, you can kind of tell where the snow melted. We should have enough traction. We pulled this thing around with this before. It's actually a pretty comfortable tractor. It's not as bouncy as these other ones. Oh, do you want me to take the brake off? Yeah. Oh, there. Sweet.
Yeah.
One down, one to go. This one, like I said, is just that grid heater, so it shouldn't be in here very long and we should be able to take it back out. But it's just nicer to work on it in here with all the tools and stuff. So here's number 2. I'm hoping that we can sneak past. We were kind of have to drag it that way. I really don't want to like catch the tire on the end of the axle of the B. So maybe if we come in at an angle and pull it, maybe we'll get lucky. But I got to throw this tire on right there. And maybe we'll use that. He's out doing cookies. Oh, I got too many tires here now. I need to start sticking some of them on. Ooh. Okay. I've been kind of excited for this one. I got it for extremely cheap. And, oh, come on. Oh. Anyways, where was I going with that? So I'm kind of excited for this one. I got it for extremely cheap, and what is going on here? Oh, there we go. So I'm kind of excited for this one. I got it extremely cheap. And I kind of got a thing for Allis Chalmers, even though I only have, I guess this is the second one. So the very first tractor I got is that other WD45. Got it from my wife's grandpa. And to be honest, I didn't really know Allis Chalmers was a thing when I first got that. Don't have a farming background. This has all been in the last, I suppose since I met my wife. Her family had a hay field. And, cut their own hay, baled it. So they had all this equipment sitting there. Well, shortly after I came around, I suppose, they sold it. Actually, it was before we moved here. That's when they sold it. So they sold it, and they brought all the equipment back, and we're just keeping it at their house. Well, around here, so it was in a town like 40 miles away. So around here, we have flood irrigation, at least where we live. And we kind of got the idea one day that right after we moved here, it might be cool to hay it, because they'd always pastured cows and horses, but never hayed it. So the first year, 2020, actually that's when I got that WD45 too. So 2020, that summer, is the first time I hayed, and it was kind of miserable. Had a ton of breakdowns. I think I only did 30 acres maybe, something like that. It wasn't very much. And then I kind of figured out what I was doing wrong. And then the next summer I got a little better. And then 2022, I think I was up to like maybe 80 acres, something like that. And it was kind of getting it figured out. I got the baler a little better situated. That first year I was fighting baler troubles. Horrible. And then 2023 really shaped up for me. I used the other WD-45 like exclusively. And I think I did 160 acres, like 3,000 bales. For the most part by myself. My wife helps rake. My father-in-law loads most of the bales by himself. Like he's pretty impressive doing that. But yeah, just after work and on the weekends I'd go bale and stuff. So that's kind of a little more of a backstory than I was planning on telling. But that's why I'm into this, or why I got into it. I've always been into old stuff, fixing it up. Just never farm equipment, but boy, it was here with all that stuff that they weren't using anymore. So I could, try it out with stuff that was fairly easy to repair. Figure out if it was even something that I could do. And then it's just like picking up the stuff is so cheap. You can get like a tractor like this, you can get it non-running, find them on Facebook for $500-600 pretty often. Get one that's running, but 60, 70 years old. I don't know, $1,000, maybe a little bit more depending on what it is, but it's pretty cheap to get into. The expensive part is when you start wanting to restore it, like full nut and bolt restoration. But for just getting them running and using them like we're doing, no big deal. So now I've got 6 tractors, so if one breaks down, then just hop onto a different one. Worry about fixing it later. Okay, we should be ready to drag this thing out of here, over into the shop now. That's totally frozen. You got plenty.
I didn't know if I had long things sticking out too. That's what I was
You have a chain over here? I don't have a chain.
How's your glove?
They're on the 70. They got all soaked in oil. That oil filter, the bottom of the air filter housing, just popped off and fell on the ground. So I had to stick it back up, so I got my gloves all oily. I must not have got it totally seated. Well,
Gotta get it over distance goes.
yeah, all the tires are aired up. Oh, yeah. I should. There. Ah! That steers pretty easy. I hope we don't have to pull this B out of the way too. Oh, we're plenty. Oh yeah. Whoa. So what's on the list with these two? This one, the D17, has a intake air heater, a grate heater right here. So we figured out which one was, oh, this one's the one that's positive because it's got a little isolating washer. So we got to run a wire from there. We'll stick a relay under here, relay back to our starter terminal where the battery comes in. Actually, we might be able to go straight up to the battery. One of the two. We'll control that with a push button switch that we're going to stick right there. So when you go to start this thing, you turn the key on, push and hold your button. It gets your grid heater going, and then you can start it. Hopefully that helps us with starting in the cold, because this thing is miserable in there. And then we'll probably, once we can get that side figured out and get it starting a little better, we're probably going to have to time this injection pump a little bit better. It's kind of smoky. I don't know, we'll have to play with it. We haven't actually got this thing to heat up to temperature either. And then this one, WD45 number 2. This tire is okay, that one's bad. There's big cuts in it. So I got a new tire that I'm going to throw onto that side. I don't have a fuel system. So sediment bowl, run a line to the carburetor. Our manifold's cracked there and there, but it has a cap on it. So we shouldn't have got water into the head because this cap was on it. Hopefully that's going to be okay. Generator, this thing probably doesn't work at all. I do have another one of these things that came off the other WD45, but I kind of like doing 12 volt conversions, so I'll probably just throw an alternator on there. The starter has the cover off. Hopefully we can just, hopefully it works, but if not, hopefully we can clean up some of those contact points, the brushes, and get it working again. What else? Oh, tire. That one's not the right one. That's a 15-inch. That's kind of the spare. I got the correct 16-inch wheel. I just got to throw a different tire on there. God, we have tires galore. Oh, what was it on this side? Oh, our brake pedal. Our right brake isn't hooked to anything anymore. Got to fix that up. We're just going to throw new battery leads on it anyways. Those don't matter. For some reason, I kind of feel like this transmission's locked up, but the shifter's super loose, so we got to address that too. But when the end of this shifter wires, there's a little ball on the end, you can stick it into a shift reel, get it into gear, but then it can fall out, so you can actually get it into gear twice. You can get like the 1-2 in gear and the 3-4 in gear. So if this is locked up, we probably just have to, we'll either open up this top cover here, or maybe we can reach down through this hole and pop it out and get it back into neutral. And then some gauges and stuff. Change fluids. That one's all done, and we've had it running. We just didn't know that grid heater existed. And then the drawbar is missing off of this, so I'm going to have to build a little drawbar coming off of here. Maybe some 3-point linkages. It does have the top link for it, but not the lift arms. So I think that brings us to the end of the episode. Mostly this one was just kind of going over what we got to do with these two, getting the other two moved out, getting these ones moved in. It was pretty easy, relatively. Other than the snow on the ground, kind of makes traction suck a little. So make sure to subscribe if you're not. Like this video, or hit the like button if you like the video. Even if you don't like it, just hit it. Throw a comment down below if you want to see any details on any of these two or any of the other ones. So thanks for watching Tractor Roy. Hope I'll catch you on the next one.